Hey parents, are you tired of watching your child cycle through endless rounds of medications only to catch the next bug that's been going around? As parents, we often find ourselves trapped in this really frustrating pattern, especially during these seasonal changes from winter to spring and from spring to summer and summer to fall. Those are hard times. So, this message is for parents who are just really exhausted from this constant cycle of treating their children's chronic illnesses or recurring illnesses with medications and antibiotics and over the counter remedies, and then ultimately only to find themselves right back where they started when that next cold hits. So today we're going to be discussing a really revolutionary approach to building your child's natural immunity instead of just masking symptoms. So you'll learn how to support your child's nervous system and how that can unlock their body's natural healing ability and create long-term resilience and break free from the endless cycle of medications and illnesses. So let's go ahead. I just want to start off with a story here. So I want to talk about a practice member named Kason. His mom brought him into her office because he was really struggling with a lot of things, recurring ear infections, colds, coughs, and it felt like every other week he was either getting on some antibiotic or fighting off another cold. And the worst part about his situation is he kept on being continually threatened that he's going to essentially have to get tubes placed in his ears. And mom didn't want that for him. And so she came to our office because she was looking for a different route, a different way of healing. What they found as we got into Kason's care is that his nervous system was just crazy stressed. And so when his nervous system got even more stressed with the germs and with the viruses that are just out in the world, it couldn't handle it. And so his ears were suffering from that. And so as he started getting adjusted with neurologically focused chiropractic care, we were able to tap into his innate immune system and really be able to help his nervous system thrive and his immune system thrive as they were better able to coordinate information. And so getting adjusted on a regular basis for him had a massive impact on his health. What's really cool is under consistent care, Kason was able to stop getting ear infections, and in fact hasn't really had any significant sicknesses since he started care because his neurospinal system is communicating well to his immune system and he's being able to actually fight off things much easier. In some cases, parents don't even know if he's sick or not because he's just doing really, really well. So that's one of my favorite stories to tell people because it's possible for everybody. The thing that I want to really drive home here for you parents is that it's not just a coincidence. There's actually science behind why this happens for kids. The immune system is a complex network of organs, tissues, and cells that work together to protect the body from infections and viruses and bacteria. But here's what most people don't realize. The immune system doesn't work alone. It's not just its own entity. It's actually directly controlled by the nervous system. Now, the nervous system acts as the command center for literally every function in your child's body, and that includes the immune system response. Now, your child's nervous system has two branches to it. It's called the autonomic nervous system, and the two sides of it are the sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system. The sympathetic nervous system is in charge of fight or flight response, and this system is designed to keep your child safe from danger. It increases heart rate, stress hormones like cortisol, and redirects blood flow to essential survival functions. The parasympathetic nervous system is in charge of the resting, healing, and digesting functions of your nervous system. And this is the system that allows your child's body to recover, heal, and build immunity. It actually controls digestion, sleep, and immune functions as well. But here's the problem. When your child experiences chronic stress, nervous system interference, or spinal misalignments, what we call subluxations, their body gets stuck in a constant fight or flight mode. What this means is that they have a weakened immune response. Your child's body is so focused on just staying alive in survival mode that it suppresses the immune system and it makes it harder to fight off infections. Now, there's also chronic inflammation. A dysregulated nervous system actually leads to chronic inflammation, and that makes the body more vulnerable to things like allergies and asthma and even frequent colds. Another thing that happens with this is poor lymphatic drainage. The lymphatic system is kind of like the garbage disposal of the immune system. So when the nervous system is out of balance, it can actually slow down lymphatic drainage and lead to fluid buildup. And that can cause things like ear infections and congestion and coughs and colds. Now, another thing, increased antibiotic dependence, because what happens is the immune system isn't functioning at full capacity and parents are often told antibiotics, that's the only solution. But there's studies that show repeated antibiotic use also destroys gut health, and that further weakens the immune system. So what causes this nervous system interference? Let's talk about really the why this happens in the first place. A lot of parents don't realize from the moment of birth their child's nervous system can be under stress and interference. So here are the most common causes to stress from birth. So birth trauma. Even the most routine births can actually create stress and tension in a baby's nervous system. So run-of-the-mill, nothing crazy happens. It causes stress. C-sections, things like forceps, vacuum extractions, and even long labors can actually place excessive force on baby's neck and the neurospinal system, and this can lead to subluxation or nervous system stress, and that disrupts the nervous system and affects digestion and immunity and sleep. Also, physical stress. There's no doubt that as kids learn and grow, they fall down, they bump into things, they tumble, they run into their sibling. It's all part of learning, right? Totally okay, but even minor falls can create neurospinal stress, and that leads to a nervous system that doesn't communicate the way that it's supposed to. There's also things like poor posture, things like screen time and wearing heavy backpacks, repetitive falls as kids learn to walk, or sports injuries if they're a little bit older. And then a kiddo being in a car seat for a prolonged amount of time, that puts a lot of pressure on the neurospinal system. Another thing that has a significant impact is environmental toxins. Your kiddo's constantly exposed to toxins in food and in the air and household products. So think about food. There's processed foods, artificial dyes, and preservatives. They can create chemical inflammation and chronic inflammation. Exposure to pesticides and plastics and chemicals, these can all disrupt the immune system function. When we talk about poor sleep patterns, sleep is when the immune system regenerates, but if your child has trouble falling asleep or if they have trouble staying asleep, then their nervous system isn't shifting into that healing mode as often as it could and as appropriately as it should either. Another thing, dietary changes. A child's gut health plays a huge role in their immune system, but diets high in sugar and processed foods, these can all lead to things like inflammation and poor digestion and more frequent infections. So the question then becomes, how can chiropractic care help? How do we break the cycle, or at least support breaking the cycle? Instead of constantly treating symptoms, our focus is on restoring proper nervous system function so that your child's body can heal naturally. So we use advanced technology called insight scans that help us measure the nervous system and the stress that's stuck on the nervous system and pinpoint exactly where the problem is. This ultimately helps us identify the areas of neurospinal stress that are blocking immune system function and appropriate adaptation to germs and all that stuff and sicknesses. We then create a customized care plan from those scans and the full history of your child to remove interference and restore neurospinal balance. We also monitor progress with these scans so that we can see, hey, how are things actually improving? What changes are being made? So when we restore nervous system function, we don't just see a stronger immune system, but we also see a multitude of other things as well. And some of those things include, like I mentioned a little bit earlier, better sleep, more rest, less cranky kiddos, stronger immune system function. Improved digestion, that reduces things like reflux and constipation and food sensitivities and boosts immune system. Better sensory processing, improved behavior, focus, and learning, and a more strong immune system. Proper development, stronger coordination and muscle tone, and wow, crazy, a stronger immune system. And I say that just because when we have all of those things, again, ties back into that healthy immune system. So if you feel like you're stuck in the cycle of just managing symptoms, it's really time to shift the focus to building resilience from the inside out. So at Renegade Chiropractic, our care really is designed to get to the root cause and to help your child heal naturally so that they can finally break free from this chronic sickness cycle that we just continue to go around and around in. So your child's body, it really has the ability, and it's an incredible, amazing ability to heal and regulate itself. Sometimes it just needs the right support, and we'd love to help. So ways that you can contact us, comment in the comment section below, say Healthy Kids. If you message us Healthy Kids to learn more about chiropractic and how we can support your child's health for the long run, we'll make sure that we get in touch with you and just give you all the information that you need so that you can feel empowered by your kid's health rather than feel drugged down by the constant cycle of sickness. You've got this.